In a quiet revolution unfolding across the landscape of human health, a humble mineral long overshadowed by flashier nutrients is stepping into the spotlight. This is not a story about a new drug or a miracle supplement. It's about an essential trace element that has been quietly powering the body's most vital functions for millennia: zinc. Once considered just another footnote in the alphabet soup of vitamins and minerals, zinc is now emerging as a central player in immunity, metabolism, neurological function, and even mood regulation. But as science digs deeper, a more complex picture is emerging, one where both too much and too little can trigger cascading health consequences, and where the real power of zinc lies not in isolation, but in its intricate dance with other nutrients. For decades, public health messaging has focused on macronutrients and headline-grabbing vitamins like C and D, often leaving minerals like zinc in the shadows. Yet within the human body, zinc operates at the very core of biological machinery. It is a cofactor for somewhere between 200 and 300 enzymes, proteins that drive nearly every chemical reaction necessary for life. From the replication of DNA to the synthesis of proteins, from wound healing to the regulation of gene expression, zinc is there, silently enabling the processes that keep cells alive and functioning. Without it, the body begins to falter in subtle but significant ways. Immunity weakens, skin deteriorates, hair thins, and cognitive clarity dims. The irony is that while zinc deficiency is surprisingly common, especially in populations reliant on plant-based diets or processed grains, the response has often been misguided. In the wellness world, where more is frequently assumed to be better, some have turned to high-dose supplementation, taking amounts that far exceed what the body can safely handle. These regimens, sometimes reaching triple-digit milligram levels, are not only unnecessary but potentially dangerous. The body does not store zinc in large quantities, and excess intake can disrupt the delicate balance of other essential minerals, particularly copper. This is where the plot thickens. Zinc and copper are locked in a biochemical rivalry. When zinc levels rise too high, copper absorption plummets, leading to a cascade of problems including anemia, nerve damage, and even cardiovascular strain. The body is not a simple vessel to be filled. It is a finely tuned system where one mineral's gain can be another's loss. Yet within this tension lies a lesson in nuance. While chronic high-dose supplementation poses risks, short bursts of elevated zinc intake, particularly at the onset of illness, may actually support the immune system in fighting off infections. There is growing evidence that zinc can interfere with the replication of certain viruses, especially in the upper respiratory tract, which may explain why some people swear by zinc lozenges at the first sign of a cold. But this benefit appears to be time-sensitive and context-dependent. Long-term use of such high doses does not confer added protection and may, in fact, backfire by dulling immune responsiveness over time. The immune system thrives on balance, not bombardment. This duality, zinc as both protector and potential disruptor, highlights a broader truth about nutrition: context is everything. The form, dose, timing, and accompanying nutrients all influence how the body responds. And here, the source of zinc matters immensely. While supplements offer convenience, they lack the natural matrix of cofactors found in whole foods. Animal-based sources like oysters, red meat, liver, and shellfish deliver zinc in a highly bioavailable form, meaning the body can absorb and use it efficiently. These foods also come packaged with other essential nutrients: iron, B vitamins, selenium, that work in concert with zinc to support overall health. In contrast, plant-based sources such as legumes, seeds, and whole grains contain compounds like phytic acid that bind to zinc and inhibit its absorption. This doesn't mean plant eaters are doomed to deficiency. Soaking, sprouting, or fermenting these foods can reduce phytate levels, but it does mean that those relying heavily on grains and beans must be more intentional about their intake. Even more telling is the growing awareness that zinc doesn't work alone. It is part of a nutritional ensemble, dependent on other players to perform its role. One of the most overlooked aspects of zinc metabolism is its relationship with magnesium. Without sufficient magnesium, zinc cannot be properly transported into cells or utilized by enzymes. This creates a paradox. Someone might take ample zinc but still exhibit signs of deficiency simply because their magnesium levels are too low. Similarly, vitamin B6 is required to activate magnesium and support zinc's role in amino acid metabolism and neurotransmitter production. This interconnectedness extends to folate, which collaborates with zinc in DNA synthesis and cellular repair. Take zinc in isolation, and you may be missing the bigger picture. This brings into focus one of the most insidious problems in modern nutrition: the failure to recognize deficiency. Unlike acute conditions with dramatic symptoms, zinc deficiency often creeps in quietly. It manifests as persistent fatigue, frequent colds, brittle nails, hair loss, or a diminished sense of taste and smell. Because these signs are common to many conditions, they are easily dismissed or misattributed. Yet there is a remarkably simple way to gauge zinc status: the zinc taste test. By swishing a liquid zinc solution in the mouth, individuals can get an immediate, albeit informal, indication of their levels. Those with sufficient zinc will experience a strong, metallic bitterness. Those who taste little or nothing may be deficient. It's a low-tech but revealing window into internal balance. The implications of widespread zinc insufficiency are far-reaching. In children, inadequate zinc can impair growth and cognitive development, particularly in regions where diets are high in cereals and low in animal proteins. In adults, it can contribute to hormonal imbalances, fertility issues, and increased susceptibility to infections. The elderly are especially vulnerable, as aging often brings reduced stomach acid production, which in turn hampers the breakdown and absorption of minerals from food. Even conditions like diabetes increase the risk of deficiency, as elevated blood sugar leads to greater urinary excretion of zinc. Pregnancy and lactation also dramatically increase demand, placing additional strain on maternal reserves. Given these factors, the official recommended daily allowances, set at modest levels based on preventing outright deficiency, may fall short for many people navigating modern health challenges. A growing body of clinical insight suggests that for those with increased needs, a daily intake in the higher range may be necessary to achieve optimal function. This isn't about megadosing, but about meeting the body's true requirements in the context of stress, illness, dietary limitations, and environmental toxins. The goal is not to flood the system, but to maintain a steady, well-supported supply. When supplementation is needed, the form of zinc makes a critical difference. Not all zinc supplements are created equal. Some, like zinc oxide, are poorly absorbed and may pass through the digestive tract without being utilized. Others, such as zinc gluconate or zinc sulfate, can cause stomach upset or nausea, especially on an empty stomach. The most effective forms are those that are bound to amino acids, chelated forms like zinc glycinate or bisglycinate. These are gentler on the gut and more readily absorbed, allowing the body to make better use of each milligram. Taking zinc with food can further improve tolerance, though some absorption may occur even without a meal. But perhaps the most profound shift in thinking is the move away from viewing zinc as a standalone solution. The future of nutritional health lies in synergy, the understanding that nutrients function as a network, not in isolation. Just as a symphony requires every instrument to play in harmony, the body relies on a balanced intake of minerals and vitamins to maintain homeostasis. Copper must be present to prevent neurological complications from zinc overload. Magnesium must be available to unlock zinc's potential. B6 and folate must be in place to support the metabolic pathways that depend on both. This holistic approach challenges the supplement industry's tendency to promote single nutrient fixes and instead calls for a more integrated strategy. It also underscores the superiority of food as the foundation of nutrition. A diet rich in organ meats, seafood, and high-quality animal proteins naturally provides zinc in balance with its cofactors. Oysters, often hailed as nature's most potent source of zinc, deliver not only massive amounts of the mineral but also selenium, iron, and omega-3 fatty acids, creating a nutritional powerhouse unmatched by any pill. Even red meat, long maligned in popular discourse, emerges as a critical source of bioavailable zinc, especially for those at risk of deficiency. This isn't a call to abandon plant-based eating, but a reminder that dietary choices must be informed by nutritional science, not ideology. As research continues to uncover the depth of zinc's influence, its role in mental health is also coming into focus. There is mounting evidence linking zinc status to mood regulation, with deficiencies associated with increased rates of depression and anxiety. Zinc is involved in the modulation of the brain's neurotransmitter systems, including dopamine and serotonin, and helps regulate the stress response through its interaction with the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. In clinical settings, zinc supplementation has shown promise as an adjunct therapy in mood disorders, particularly when combined with other nutrients like B6 and magnesium. This adds another layer to the mineral's importance. Beyond physical health, it may be a silent guardian of emotional resilience. The story of zinc is ultimately a story of balance. It is a reminder that the body is not a machine to be overloaded with inputs, but a living ecosystem that thrives on harmony. Too much zinc disrupts copper. Too little weakens immunity. Ignoring its partners renders it ineffective. And yet, when properly supported, through diet, thoughtful supplementation, and attention to individual needs, zinc becomes a quiet force of vitality. It supports the skin's integrity, sharpens the mind, strengthens the body's defenses, and even influences how we feel from day to day. In a world increasingly obsessed with quick fixes and extreme solutions, the lesson of zinc is one of moderation and integration. It teaches us to look beyond isolated nutrients and consider the broader web of interactions that sustain health. It challenges the assumption that more is better and instead invites a more nuanced, personalized approach to wellness. As science continues to unravel the complexities of human nutrition, zinc stands as a powerful example of how the smallest elements can have the most profound impact. The key is not to chase extremes, but to seek equilibrium, because in the end, it is not the boldest nutrient that wins, but the one that works in concert with the rest. If you found this deep dive into the world of zinc eye-opening, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss out on the real science behind the nutrients that power your life. This isn't just about one mineral. It's about understanding how your body truly works from the inside out. If you've ever struggled with fatigue, slow healing, frequent illness, or unexplained mood shifts, zinc might be the missing piece you've overlooked. Share this video with someone who's always tired or constantly getting sick, because sometimes, the most powerful solutions aren't flashy or new, they've been here all along, quietly running the show at the cellular level. Thanks for watching.